Hello and welcome to another episode of Music for Meals with Element House, born out of the Element House sessions that kicked off a few years ago with BMW, Bulgari and Mouton Chandon. It's now found a new home online as every week we join the chefs at Element House and a different music superstar to enable them to come together and support this incredible drive that sees the Element team feeding 300 children every single day. Sadly, it's an incredibly important and much needed space, but it's one we're very happy to be able to support and to do so with your assistance. And as is the case every week, if you look on screen, you will see a code. You can scan that code and support us with a donation if you are able to do so. You've got a great week to look forward to. You'll be into the kitchen at Element House and you'll learn to make another fantastic dish. And the great thing about these dishes is you can actually make them yourself. You don't have to have had 12 years of culinary cooking training to pull them off. They're very accessible. And you can also kick back and listen to a terrific musician. And this week, we have Ross Learmont, the superstar from Prime Circle, who joins us from the relative intimacy of his lounge. Those are both coming just a little later. First of all, though, the guy who's put all of this together, he used to just be the general manager at Element House. He sweeps the driveway, he paints bathrooms, he unplugs sinks and drains. He does absolutely everything, including keeping us updated on this terrific project. Paul Bruce Brand, how are you?
Dan, great to hear from you again. Doesn't feel like it's been a week since we last chatted. Been an awesome week, actually.
Yeah, you're doing a terrific job. Tell us quickly how the project's going, how it's grown, and what the support has been like.
Dan, phenomenal. I mean, we produced over 7,500 meals now. It's been a crazy week. The kids are really loving it. Every day they're queuing with their lunch boxes, keeping social distancing. It's just the order there, the spirit, the camaraderie, it's amazing. And we're having fun as well. We're having fun in the kitchen and we really appreciate everything. I mean, everything that you guys do, every 6 rand gets us a meal. So, I mean, that puts it into perspective. You know, a little bit of money goes a long way and it really does make a massive difference out there.
You know this more than most, Paul, because you've been out on the ground, you've been into Khayelitsha, you've seen these kids being fed. What impact has that had on you personally? And is there a chance of maybe getting an update on some footage of what's been happening?
Yeah, Dan, I mean, it's one thing to do a project like this that you're doing it for something that's not close to you. But once you've been out there, it really has quite an impact. And you can see the major difference that it does make to the kids out there. So I think, yeah, I've always just donated to things, but it's never really been as impactful as it is right now. And yeah, we were out there this morning at lunchtime, and I took a little bit of footage of that, and it'll give you a little bit of a sense for the feel of Khayelitsha and how the community is all banding together to make things work out there, despite all the tough circumstances. It gives you so much positivity, actually. It's not a depressed place at all. In fact, yes, the situation is dire, but people have a great spirit and are all chipping in to do their parts, which is really phenomenal.
Well, let's go over then. Have a look. Here's that footage taken by ace cameraman Paul Bruce Brand a little earlier today.
Hey Dan, I'm with Craig, who literally gives every day of his up to come into these areas and drop off the food. Craig, do you want to just tell us a little bit about what's happening here?
Hey Dan, we're currently at a place called the Makukanya Art Room. The Constantia Community Action Network has partnered with them to help us distribute food hampers, and also they're running a soup kitchen which we are helping them support and get operational. They're currently feeding around 200 kids in the area, including some adults. The wonderful thing about this venue, and hopefully Chantal will be able to take some video shortly, is that this is it's a theatre, it's an art room, it's a place where the kids come to express their artistic talent, and the chap that runs this, Bongani, he's offered up his premises to help us to manage this COVID-19 disaster relief effort.
This campaign, this type of initiative has helped quite a lot of people. It has helped a lot of people. It has houses that are headed by teenagers. I mean, we make a difference. We try, and we believe in no man is an island, right? Because if you are a center-place organization, then you are bound to work with other organizations to uplift the community. I mean, this is a time whereby our people need us. Well, we can't only depend on what the government can do for us, but we can also depend on ourselves and what we can do for our community. I mean, the change is evident. People are happy, people are appreciative, people, whenever they see us, they just gather around us as if we're going to give all of them a parcel, but we can't do that. We want to do that, but on a daily basis, on every incident or every time we get parcels, we manage to give whoever we are able to give. But once again, we want to say thank you, and we want to encourage every other center-place organization out there to keep on doing what you're doing, guys. This is for the greater good. It might not be evident today, but tomorrow you will see that we've made an impact all around South Africa. One nation, stronger together.
Now we are on our way to one of the feeding locations now, and it just gives you an idea of the density here right now. We'll take you for a little bit of a walk through the park. Alright, so now we're at Makukanye, and you can see the kids lining up here. The community leaders, you can see, are trying to keep the social distancing as much as they can. As many kids as possible are having masks, and the food is being prepared behind me. And yeah, it's just incredible to see the buzz, the happiness, the involvement of everyone here. It's an extremely close community.
Well, Paul spoke about it not being a place of depressed people, and I'd agree with that. Yes, it's a really tough situation, but you can see the delight out there. There's a lot of hope, and that is the currency that I think is more valuable than any at the moment, especially in South Africa in this time of Corona. So if you are able to, if you'd like to support, if you see what we're doing, if you think it's something you're able to get behind, you're getting a very visual sense there of exactly where these meals are going. The Click Foundation overseeing the whole procedure. Every cent raised is going into meals. Those meals are going to kids, and those kids really need them. For many of them, their only meal of the day. So if you are supporting, we appreciate it. Not possible for everyone, certainly, and we do understand that. But if you can, do know that everything you send our way is going straight on to those kids. Just as those meals are going on to the kids, and the meals are being produced by some world-class chefs, headlined by a very good mate of mine. Hello, Peter Tempelhoff.
Hey Dan, how you doing? And everybody, thanks for tuning in for our 4th session in the kitchen. Today we've got Rudy Blaauw taking over the stoves. He's going to be doing a fantastic dish, which I think he'll be explaining to you in a second. And once again, I just want to say thank you for everybody who's made a big difference, for giving the food, for giving the money, for donating. It has really made a fantastic difference. We're feeding more and more kids every day, and we just must keep it up, even past lockdown level 1. So yeah, so listen, over to Rudy, and we'll see you guys next week for another installment. Have fun.
Hi, good day Dan, good day viewers, nice to see you all. So today I'll be making curry dal. It's one of Cape Town's dishes. We'll be doing it for the 100 meal challenge. So I'll start off by heating up my pot. I've got some normal sunflower oil on the go. Cape Townians have been eating dal for many years, so they're all familiar with the dish as well. It's not that expensive to make. We'll first be starting off with some onions, frying off some onions, sauteing some onions. To give it nice color and translucency. As you can see. This will just take about 30 seconds. It's a very fast meal. Add some more oil. Now we're adding our garlic and our ginger paste. So just to give it a little bit of color. And just to release those aromas of garlic and ginger. And then I know some people like to add those spices before, but I like to add my lentils just to give it a bit of a toast and just to improve the flavor as well. We soak the lentils overnight, so I'm adding about 1.5 cups in proportion. So now we're just giving the lentils a nice nutty flavor. It's releasing all those flavors with our garlic, onion and ginger. I'm going to pop up the heat a bit. Yeah, so you have to stir quite frequently because you wouldn't want it to burn or anything like that. So now we're getting our spices ready to start toasting them off as well. Just give it a little stir here. Just a second. Cool, so now we're going to start off with our spices. We got our garam masala. We're just going to add about 1 teaspoon. Cumin and coriander mix, we'll do 2 teaspoons. Turmeric, we will do 1 teaspoon. You can say about 1.5 would be fine. And then we add our 1 piece of star aniseed, 1 piece of cinnamon. And then we end up with our leaf masala, which is about 1 tablespoon. So now we're just going to roast over the spices for a little bit, just to give it a nice toasty flavor and to get it cooked up properly. We got some chicken stock. At home you can just use the granules, it's totally fine. All the chicken stock in there, that's about 1.5 cups. Now we had about 2 beautiful curry leaves. These actually come out of my garden at home, as you can see. It just enhances that flavor a bit. And obviously this is a sweet potato dal, so we'll add our sweet potatoes. This is just 1 large sweet potato. Just cut it into perfect little cubes. So once the sweet potato is cooked, the dal will be cooked at the same time, and our sweet potato curry dal would be ready. So we'll just have to wait about 10 to 15 minutes just until our sweet potato is cooked and our dal is cooked, and then we're going to finish it off with our coriander and our moringa leaves. So I hope you guys enjoy some music. See you just in a bit.
Right, away from the kitchen, we'll leave Rudy to keep weaving his magic at Element House. And we head over to another one of my favorite rock stars. This is basically me putting together my all-time birthday playlist. These are the guys who'd be in my garden playing the most almighty birthday party ever if we were all able to get together for a birthday party. We can't, so we have them online, we have them virtually, supporting us, raising money for Music for Meals. He's a real rock star, he's a great musician, fantastic guy. Please take it away live from his living room, from Prime Circle, it's Ross Learmonth.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Ross Learmonth. I'm here in my living room in quarantine, locked down like the rest of the world, and just wishing that you're all safe and sound, and this ends soon. And we just want to say thank you to all your generosity, because you're feeding a lot of people that need your help, and in this time of the world, generosity is what the world really needs, so thank you for that. I'm going to be playing you a couple of songs acoustically. Run away from yourself. You're so pretty. way on you move. I'm caught in its condition when it comes to you. And I know I choose to surrender its condition. What have I got to lose now? But first we go down, down, then we go in, then we go round, 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 lost and in, innocence, breaking in. We won't go faking it. We won't know, oh, until we make it. Around we go, round and around and around. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, until we make it. Oh, until we make it. Thank you very much.
Ross Learmonth, thank you very much indeed. Absolute magician with guitar in hand. And one of a few we've had over the course of this Music for Meals session. A different space though, Ross, because normally you've got hundreds of thousands of people in front of you, women throwing underwear, screaming your name. Now you're sitting in what looks like a rather demure living room, playing just by yourself with your guitar. The world's become a very different place for rock stars.
Yeah, it definitely has. It's a very different place. I mean, usually I've got like highly experienced guitar players around me, but now I'm just gonna have to make do with my shoddy playing. But it's been a lot of fun, like doing these kind of things. But it's not like the real thing. But it's yeah, we'll have to adapt to play, I suppose. So it's what it is right now.
We've spoken to a lot of great musicians over the course of Music for Meals, and one of the regular themes is the creativity, the chance to reflect, the chance to fall in love with music all over again. What's your space been like over the last couple of months?
My parents moved in with me just before lockdown, so we could all be together. And I've been, my dad's happy again, which has been quite amazing. Back to my roots, I've been building in the back garden with my dad, which has been incredible. Making meals and just being back to the family thing. I mean, usually I'm on the road so much that I don't get to even eat a home-cooked meal that much. So that's been incredible. And besides that, just trying to like become a better musician in that sense, take the time, like we've always been saying. I think you're so busy on the road all the time that you just want to sometimes take that time to reflect. So trying to take this as a positive thing as much as I can, you know.
How much of a gap in your life is there without the band members beside you all the time? Are you staying in touch? Are you WhatsApping, singing with each other in the evenings?
We have been keeping in touch, but not really that much, because I think we've taken it. We all decided to really take this time to sort of to do that reflection and sort of take that break. We've been touring nonstop now for about 17 years, so I think the guys as well took it as a positive thing, but it's a bit long now. I think everyone, now I'm getting the phone calls from the band, and like everyone's starting to get really itchy feet again. So it's time, you know, but I think it's still going to be a while before any bands can really get back on the road fully.
It'll be a special moment for you, as for all other big bands, when you do take to the stage for that very first time. When you look back, though, 17 years of touring, it's been a remarkable career for a band that has done extraordinary things, not just here in South Africa, but right around the world. Are you able to pick one performance, one concert, one moment in that career that blows all the others out the water?
It's very hard to. I don't think it's really possible. I do think, I mean, the first big one, like your first big love, or the, you know, your first time, I think it's sort of that thing. So I think the biggest show we played when we started off was the live Birds of Prey tour. We got to tour that, and I think that just changed our lives. So I think that one stands out pretty big for us. Besides the Metallica tour, we were touring with a lot of South African bands, and it was amazing that they came here. But I think live and pretty much stands out the most. It changed our lives.
You mentioned some pretty big bands there. Bands who've all got posters of Prime Circle up in their bedrooms at home. When you think of your musical influences and the music that guided you, have you been listening to a lot of that music over the last month or two? Has there been a nostalgic tour of the music you loved and that influenced you?
There definitely has. We got all the vinyls out. So, I mean, a lot of the bands I used to listen to, we don't sound anything like. I was into like Sepultura and those kind of things growing up, but I've got the Royal Orbison, sort of some of the vinyls. Like, it's also go down nostalgia hill, you know what I mean, and just go through a lot of stuff that you don't listen to that often, and sort of old influence. So definitely, this house is constantly music blaring from everything.
It sounds like a fantastic place to be, but all the more so today because you've been incredibly generous with your time and your music. Why is it important to Ross Learmonth to spend some time here with us to support Music for Meals at this time?
I think, there's a lot of people that they've lost everything. So, you got to, like I said, you got to be generous where you can. I think the whole world, it's hard to ask when everyone's in a similar boat. But I think if you can spare a little bit, it's always a good thing to do. And I think it's sort of, it's something that is needed. So if you can help someone, then that's just incredible. That's the way it should be. And South Africa has always done that. We've always come together, and we've always been that kind of place,
If you are able to support, and we realize tough times right around the world, but if you do have the means, the wherewithal, there is that scan code on screen at the moment to send a little money the way of our Music for Meals. Every cent overseen by the Click Foundation and out to help feed our kids. And your reward is some superb music from an outstanding South African talent, one of our modern greats. So I'll cut the conversation. I'll head straight back to him. Here is some more from the brilliant Ross Learmonth from Prime Circle.
my city now. My city now. I'm going to do another song for you guys now. This one here is a song that we've actually dedicated to the RADA Foundation. But today, this song is about how we can make a difference, hopefully. This one's called Weapons of War. Walking on, time in. Was it a sign of the times? Atom bombs, blinding. Can't even look at myself no more. I'm coming close, findings. Well, finding that I have been lost. Where to turn? Where'd I turn now? It's time to just value this cost. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't believe you. I don't know about anything at all. All I know is I see through. See the words that become weapons of war. Raise the flags and fall in. I'm not falling for that anymore. I sound the call, I'm calling. Not even sure what we're fighting for. Oh, help me out, oh, help me see. All our dreams, they are fading away. What is lost, I can't be saved. I surrender to everything. Oh, I'm just trying to say that I am done. I don't believe you. I don't know about anything at all. No. All I know is I see through. See the words that become weapons of war. See the words that become weapons of war. Oh no, weapons of war. Be safe out there, look after each other, and we'll see you soon enough. All the best.
So there we go, Ross Learmonth, the musical maestro from Prime Circle, very kindly giving us not just his time, but some fabulous music as well. It is Music for Meals. We've had the music, so let's go back to the meals and let's find out how Rudy is doing in the Element House kitchen.
Hi Dan, so the meal's almost ready. We're just going to add our moringa at the end. Moringa is an African herb. It just adds a lot of nutrition and just a lot of vitamins to the kids that we're feeding. I've got a big tree at home, so I just pick it at home, bring it to work, and we make big pots for 250 kids at the moment. 80 kilogram pots that can feed. We do 300 gram portions for each individual kid. So at the end of the day, we basically serve 250 meals daily between us and Fane. So we're just going to add the moringa to it and some coriander to it at the end. So I'm adding it now. We keep a little bit for garnish. We added the coriander as well. And mostly you can eat dal on its own as a dish, or you can eat it with rice, which will complement it. So now I'm dishing it out in a small bowl. We've got a small bowl of rice on the side as well. This is the food that we're cooking for the kids in the townships. So it's inexpensive, it's very nutritional, and we try to add as much nutrition as we possibly can to keep the kids healthy and safe. It's putting off the heat. And then lastly, I'm just garnishing it with a couple of moringa leaves. And you can leave the moringa out if you don't have it at home, and you can just use coriander. So here we've got our rice bowl, and we've got our sweet potato Capetonian dal.
So there we go. Not only terrific music, but also learning how to make a great meal. Thank you, Rudy, a very dedicated chef. And what I love about this week's meal is that is the curry that's going out to the kids. And so you're seeing a really, really great meal, great food, and that's being delivered out to those children. So the meals they are getting of a really, really high quality. And that is extremely important, as is this whole project. And we really value you not just watching and sharing with your friends, but also where you're able to supporting us. That support goes a very long way. And as Paul reminded us a little earlier, just 6 Rand takes care of a meal for one of those kids. If you're watching internationally, do the maths. If you're in the UK, that's about 30p. If you're in America, that's about 60 or 70 cents a meal. If you are able to support, it's going to a much, much needed space. Huge thank you to Ross Lemont from Prime Circle in brilliant touch as always. And thank you to Rudy as well as to Peter and their chefs at Peter Tempelhoff. You guys are doing a wonderful job and we're greatly appreciative. And Paul Bruce Brand, the Element House team, and Stefanos Rabi Productions, who are putting all of this together. Join us next week when Khan Morby slaps on the makeup. The man who fronts the parlor tones is our special guest next week on Element House Music for Meals. I'm Dan Nicholl. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.